Okay, shall we start now, everyone? Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Loudly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many of you have heard about evolution before? Tell me and give me definition of it. What is it exactly? Or meaning of evolution? Because now you are in 12th standard, right? So I want relevant answer from you all. Anybody? Yes. Any idea about evolution?
Development of something from years.
Okay. Is it a drastic change or gradual change? Tell me first of all. Yes? Anybody? Is it a gradual change or drastic change? Tell me.
Gradual.
It is a gradual change.
Correct. It's a gradual change. There is formation of new species. So it is a gradual change over a period of time for the formation of new species. Now, how many of you have heard about importance of sexual mode of reproduction? Can anybody give me importance of sexual mode of reproduction? Or the significance of it? You have studied this in 11th standard, I know. Yes. What is the significance or importance of sexual mode of reproduction? There is involvement of two parents, correct? Yes. Am I correct or wrong? Tell me. In sexual mode of reproduction,
Yes,
there is involvement of two parents, right? When there is fusion of male gamete and female gamete, zygote will form. Understood? And when we talk about fusion of male and female gamete, there is exchange of genetic material. Got it? And we will get what results we are going to get after the fusion of male and female gamete after the exchange. You will get variations, and variations will help in the process of evolution. Understood? Now what do you mean by variations? Variations are nothing but morphological dissimilarities. Variations are nothing but morphological dissimilarities. Understood? So evolution, whatever evolutionary race is there, isn't it? Variations are going to have an important role in the process of evolution. So exactly what you are going to study in this chapter, let me explain you that first, and then we will study one by one. Clear, everyone? Give me reply so that I can understand. Yes, no.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Okay. So I'm going to show you one flow chart. So from this flow chart, you will come to know exactly what we have to study in this chapter. Okay. So you can take pencil or pen in your hand and you just write down this flow chart. And then one by one, we will see what exactly we have to study. So the first thing, you just write down along with me only, and then I'll explain you. Okay, everyone. Yes. So the first thing we are going to talk about universe, then Earth, how Earth is formed, how Earth is created, how universe is formed, then first life form, and then the evolution. Okay, now for each and everything, like when we talk about universe, when we talk about Earth and first life form, we are going to study about theories. We are going to study about theories because many scientists involved in these, isn't it? So the first theory is, so when we are going to talk about universe and Earth, the first theory is nothing but Big Bang theory. Have you heard about Big Bang theory? Which is very simple. No need to explain also. Yes? Big Bang theory?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Have you heard about Big Bang theory? It is very simple. It is formed only universe and Earth. Formed because of what? Big, huge explosion. Understood? So at that time, what happened? Can anybody tell me what is Big Bang theory? I told you, I have given you one hint. Huge explosion. Then what happened? Try to give answers because this is not the first time you are studying about evolution, right? Many theories we have to study. So try to give answer. Any answers? At least tell me yes, no, ma'am, so that I can understand. Yes? No? Tell me, no, ma'am, we don't know anything about Big Bang theory. Okay, I will explain you. What is it? So let's talk about Big Bang theory and then I'll give you idea about how it is formed. So in case of Big Bang theory, huge explosion. Understood the meaning of huge explosion? What happened because of this huge explosion? Universe expanded, isn't it? Universe expanded. Temperature came down. Temperature came down and very light and heavy elements were formed. Understood? We are talking about light and heavy. Both the elements or the we can say gases were formed during that time. Understood? And due to the gravitational gases, due to the gravitational gases, due to gravitation, gases were condensed totally. Due to gravitation, gases were condensed completely. Understood? And galaxies were formed, and this is how the Earth is formed. So this is nothing but Big Bang theory. Now my question is, okay, have you heard about theory of special creation, spontaneous generation, chemical evolution? Forget about both theories. Just tell me about chemical evolution. What is it? Any idea about chemical evolution? Because the name itself tells you the meaning, chemical evolution. Some organic, inorganic compounds, isn't it? Yes. Give me reply so that I can understand. Simply standing and explaining, it is difficult for me to
Some
know
chemical
whether
compounds or some chemical compounds or molecules were created
Yes, very good.
due
Organic
to this
compounds. Yes,
explosion.
very good. Okay, so we will proceed now. So understood about Big Bang theory, it's only because of the huge explosion Earth is formed. Understood? So we need to consider the conditions present at that time. Okay, we are going to talk about conditions also, but not now. Let me tell you about the syllabus first, what exactly we are supposed to learn. Now, first life form. Now in this we are going to study about theory of special creation, then spontaneous generation. Spontaneous is nothing but a natural, sudden change. Understood? Chemical evolution, just now someone Given me answer, chemical evolution and panspermia theory. Okay, we are going to see this in detail. Now, after this, then it leads to evolution. Then it leads to evolution because before also I told you, evolution is a gradual change for the formation of species, isn't it? जब तक उसको variations नहीं मिलता है, तब तक evolution नहीं होता है बिल्कुल भी. Understood? So evolution needs variations. Then only there is formation of new species. Then only there is formation of new species. Got it? So evolution here into complex diversity. Now diversity means what? Diversity is nothing but variety among living organisms. Variety among living organisms. Understood? Now see here in this subtopic we are going to study about Lamarckism, then Darwinism, and the third one is mutation theory. Understood till here? So this much we have to study in this chapter. Universe, Earth. See, I'm not going to explain Big Bang theory in detail because it is very simple. You just read it and tell me if you have any doubts in this Big Bang theory. Very simple. You just have to remember the conditions. कौन से conditions थे? And then when we talk about first life form, here you need to focus. Understood? Okay. Now, finished everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes,
So,
ma'am.
this only this much I'm going to erase because I need half of the board to write. Okay. Now, universes form 20. I'm so sorry. $20 billion years ago. Okay, universe is formed 20 billion years ago. And Earth is formed 4.5 billion years ago. Okay, this also you can write it down in your notebook. Okay, and the first life is originated approximately 4. So here I can write first life is originated approximately 4 billion years ago. Understood? So in this many scientists, I told you, used many techniques. Now you will ask me, ma'am, why such kind of timings? Isn't it? So many scientists involved in this. Like, have you heard about carbon dating and all? Have you heard about carbon dating and all? Where we do study of fossils and all. Yes or no, tell me. Because I'm talking about the techniques. Yes? To calculate the age of fossils, we use one technique called as carbon dating. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes. So scientists use many techniques to estimate the timing. So that's why we are considering such kind of timings. 20 billion years ago, 4.5 billion years ago, and 4 billion years ago. Understood? So in this way only you have to learn. Okay. Now next thing, see, I'm going to erase this now. Because now we are going to study about conditions present on the earth at that time. So the next topic is okay. Now we are going to talk about, conditions on earth at the time of origin of life. At the time of origin of life. So the last subtopic we are going to consider now, Okay, so what are the conditions on earth at the time of origin of life? So the first condition is, you can write it somewhere, high temperature. Okay, first condition, high temperature. Now the second is light gases. For example, now this is very important because these gases are going to used by one more scientist, and the name of that experiment is Urey and Miller experiment. It is one of the experimental proof. Understood? We are going to discuss about that also, but not now. So light gases, I'm going to write. The first one is CH4, NH3, methane, ammonia, then you have hydrogen and the helium. Okay. Then let's talk about heavy elements also. Okay, now the fourth one is nothing but UV radiations. Important point, UV radiations were present. UV radiations were also present at the time of origin of life. At the time of origin of life. So these are the conditions present on the earth at the time of origin of life. The first is high temperature, then light gases, in that CH4, NH3, H2, He. Understood? Like methane, ammonia, hydrogen and helium. Got it? Heavy elements also. Then UV radiations were also present at the time, at that time. So, okay, now can you tell me what about oxygen? Because there is no reference of oxygen, isn't it? So that we can see that atmosphere is reducing at that time. Am I correct or wrong? Tell me. Now we are in the modern age. Understood? That time oxygen was not there, so no reference of oxygen at that time, so that we can see clearly atmosphere was reducing. Understood, everyone? Tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So now let's talk about theories of origin of life. So you just write it down somewhere and just tell me once you have finished. Tell me so that I can use second half of the part for my explanatory part. You just tell me. Finished writing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's talk about what are the theories okay. The first theory is, what is the first theory? I told you just now. First theory, theory of dash creation.
Special creation.
Special
Correct.
creation.
Theory of special creation. You just write it down, theory of special creation. I'm going to explain you what is it. Okay. So this theory is basically based on religious beliefs, isn't it? Theory of special creation is based on religious beliefs. Understood? That means it was believed that life was created by God in the heaven. Life was created by the God in the heaven. Understood? It is very simple theory without any evidences, isn't it? Now, Bible says, we can take two examples. I'm going to explain you two examples for your understanding. First, we will take Bible, isn't it? there is one chapter called as Genesis. In this chapter, according to Bible, the first man is Adam and the first woman is Eve. Okay, now one more. So this is how life is evolved from first man and the first woman according to theory of special creation, created by God. Understood? Now, one more theory is there, or one more example I'm going to explain. It's nothing but according to Hindu mythology. According to Hindu mythology. And understood, Brahma is the creator. Brahma is the creator. So we are not going to go in detail. This much is sufficient for your understanding. Theory of special creation. Clear with first one? Tell me yes or no. Am I very fast?
No.
Okay.
Clear,
Now,
ma'am.
yes?
Clear.
Explaining very fast?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Now, second theory, which is very interesting and with the lack of proof. Understood? Theory of abiogenesis. Okay. I am going to split this word for your understanding. Abiogenesis. That means abio means what? Non-living matter. Abio means what? Non-living matter. And genesis is nothing but the synthesis or the formation. Genesis is nothing but synthesis and the formation. So according to this theory, living or life is originating from non-living matter. Life is originating from non-living matter. But then after, this theory is also rejected by Francisco Reddy. This theory is also rejected by Francisco Reddy. Understood? I'm going to many examples given in your textbook also and reference books also. You just go through this because examples are very simple to understand. I'm going to explain you one example. What they have told us, mud of Nile river gave rise to many organisms slowly, which is rejected by scientist Francisco Reddy. Understood? You just, if textbook is there in front of you, take one example and tell me now. Now only. Yes. Anyone can tell me. If it is there in front of you, you just tell me. Very simple. What is the conclusion of this theory? Non-living or life is originating from non-living matter. So for the example I have discussed with you, like for example, mud of Nile river give rise to many organisms. Understood? One more example I want from your side.
Miss Van Helmont, he gave an opinion that humans sweat and wheat bran when they're kept together for 3 weeks, they can form mice.
Yes. Very good. Yes. Okay. But as of, you see, this theory is also rejected by the Francisco Reddy, scientist. Now comes the biogenesis theory. The third one is biogenesis theory. Yes, tell me about this theory, biogenesis. You can split the word and you can tell me the meaning. Like life is originating from pre-existing one, isn't it? Pre-existing one. So this is nothing but the biogenesis theory. Now many experiments are there. I'm going to explain you only one experiment. If it is given in your textbook, then only. Because otherwise this theory is very easy to understand. What is the conclusion of this theory? It is exactly opposite of abiogenesis theory. That means life is originating from pre-existing one. That's the meaning of or the conclusion of biogenesis theory, which is very simple to understand. Understood? So experiments are given in your textbook. Just tell me one experiment which is given in your textbook. Yes? Anybody?
Ma'am, experiment of Francisco Redi to disprove theory of spontaneous
Very good.
generation.
He
A jar covered with muslin cloth.
Correct, very good. The first jar which is covered with parchment membrane, second jar covered with muslin cloth, and the third he kept open only. And what he had observed in this conclusion, yes, I think only one girl is answering. What about boys? Yes, tell me the conclusion of this theory. Class should be very interactive. See, I'm not going to scold you. You are there, I'm here. Now I want to answer from one boy. Yes, conclusion of the theory or the experiment. Tell me, what happened with that jar which was opened? What he had observed? The growth of what? Growth of what? Fungal infection, something like that.
Miss, maggots. Maggots. There were maggots and flies.
Correct, very good. Some larvae he had observed on the flesh, cooked flesh. Understood? And from this experiment, he had concluded that life is originating from pre-existing one, from living matter. From living matter. Understood? Which is very simple to understand. Now, one more experiment is there. I'm going to give you this experiment for homework. You just go through this and tomorrow you tell me what is it. See, swan neck experiment by by Pasteur experiment. You just go through this experiment and tell me tomorrow what is it. Now, panspermiotic theory. We will just discuss about now panspermiotic theory. This is also called as extraterrestrial theory. And then comes the very important, now your main focus should be here. That is nothing but your modern theory. That is nothing but your modern theory, which is mostly accepted theory. This theory is also called as chemogenetic theory. So we will see this in detail. Let me erase this now. You can give triple star to this theory because this is very important from your exam point of view. I'm telling you, just give double star or triple star to this theory because this is very important. And there is one experimental proof that also we have to study, that is Urey and Miller experiment. It is one of the experimental proof. Diagram I'm not going to draw. If it is given in your textbook, you just go through the textbook and I'm going to explain you. Okay. So the first chemogenetic theory. This is also called as modern theory of evolution. Modern theory of evolution. This is also called as modern theory of evolution. You just start writing along with me only. Now, divided into 1, 2, and 3, because this is a continuous process. So in this way only we are going to study. You will come to know how. The first is chemogeny. The second is biogeny. And the third one is cogenogeny. Clear till here? Now you can take pencil in your hand and you can start writing while explaining. So, chemogenetic theory, this is also called as modern theory of evolution, which is mostly accepted theory. Got it? Now, it has three categories like chemogeny, biogeny, and cogenogeny. Why like this? Because this is a continuous process. In this way only we have to study. First, it is very simple. In this only, there is one experimental proof. I told you before also, that is nothing but Urey and Miller experiment. Now, not now we are going to see this in detail. Let me explain this continuous process first, and then we will see Urey and Miller experiment. Okay. So, this theory, chemogeny theory, is explained by Oparin and Haldane. Okay. So he considered the early conditions. Just now we have studied about the early conditions. What was the condition at that time? Isn't it? The first is high temperature. Then energy, which is in the form of UV rays plus lightning. So this also we have to consider. And the gases were also present. Give me the names of gases which I have told you. 4 gases I have told you. Yes.
Methane.
Very good.
Ammonia.
Methane. Yes. Next.
Ammonia.
Very good. Next.
Helium. Hydrogen.
Correct. Helium and hydrogen. Very good answer. So gases also we have to consider because gases were also present at that time. Water vapor also you can consider. And what we can see and what is the conclusion at that time, atmosphere was reducing because there is no reference. There were no reference of the oxygen molecule. So that what we can conclude here, atmosphere was reducing. Understood till here? So that is nothing but chemogeny evolution, that is nothing but chemical evolution. Now, some simple, what we have observed in this, some of the gases resulted in the formation of simple compounds. Whatever gases, CH4, NH3, H2 and helium. Okay, so because of these gases, there is formation of resulted in the formation of simple compounds. Okay, and what are those compounds? Can anybody tell me what are those inorganic? These are inorganic, CH4 and H3, H2 and the helium. These are nothing but inorganic compounds. From this inorganic compounds, what it results into? Organic compounds. And those organic compounds are nothing but, yes, can anybody tell me? DNA, RNA and proteins. DNA, RNA and proteins. Understood? Clear everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
You just tell me, you can interrupt me at any point, ma'am, this is not understanding, you just tell me. Okay, so this is chemical evolution. We need to understand the conditions present at that time. Then what we have discussed about inorganic compounds resulted into the organic compounds, isn't it? And the organic compounds are nothing but DNA, RNA and proteins. What it is called? Tell me. Have you studied this in molecular basis of inheritance? You must have studied this in molecular basis of inheritance. What it is called? डीएनए जब एमआरएनए में कन्वर्ट होता है, एमआरएनए जब प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस में जाता है, व्हाट इट इज कॉल्ड? You have studied this in molecular. Have you studied molecular basis of inheritance? Yes, students, I want answer from your side.
Ma'am, transcription?
Yes, you are here to answer, but what is that process? The overall process where DNA converted into mRNA, and this mRNA is used in the process of protein synthesis. What it is called? Okay, have you studied this molecular basis of inheritance? Tell me first. Yes or no? This is central dogma of molecular biology, where DNA converted into mRNA and then it leads into protein synthesis. This is called as central dogma of molecular biology. Understood? So from inorganic compounds to organic compounds we are getting. So that is nothing but your chemical evolution. That is nothing but your chemical evolution, and this is how the chemical evolution started in the next category, that is your biogeny, isn't it? So reactions were continuously taking place at that time, which leads into biogeny. So because of the reactions continuously going on, so again there is formation of complex biomolecules. Complex biomolecules. Okay. Complex biomolecules were formed. That means this one. Where DNA converted into mRNA and mRNA into the protein synthesis. Understood? So biomolecule formation is biogeny. Biomolecule formation is biogeny, where DNA converted into RNA and RNA into proteins. So this is called as central dogma because DNA is a molecule. Understood? When we study about DNA, that means we are studying at molecular level. Understood? So then into the protein synthesis. Okay, transcription, translation. So the complex biomolecules were formed in this category, biogeny. Till here understood everyone? See, many
Yes,
things
ma'am.
are there in the beginning of the chapter only. I cannot help you. You have to study. Rejection theory hai, kisne reject kiya, name of the scientist, different theories you have to study, how life is originated, because this is there in the beginning of the chapter only. Understood? Main part तो आगे है, जहां पे एविडेंसेस आते हैं, डार्विन आता है, लैमार्क आता है. That is the different one, but first you need to understand this. Then only you will come to know what is evolution exactly. Got it? That's the reason I'm explaining in detail each and every part. Okay, shall we proceed now? Biogeny, and then comes the cogenogeny. You just so here is first life formed. Here is first life formed, or the formation takes place plus the evolution. Got it? Now what is there in our hands after getting this? It's nothing but our proteins. Proteins milne ke baad, then only first life is formed. So this cogenogeny will give you an idea about first life on the earth. First life on the earth. Okay, so we will just see this. And then we will discuss about Urey and Miller experiment. What was it? So after getting proteins in the case of, so these proteins plus water formed, and this formation is called as aggregates, and this is also called as, it must be given, you just go through the textbook and you just underline what is there next, isn't it? You just take pencil in your hand. So this is called as protobiont, isn't it? This is called as protobiont. Now it did not show any process of reproduction. First life originated, correct? That is called as proto, I forgot to write, protobiont. And you just give single star to this because for 1 mark they may ask you what is protobiont, so you should know what is it. So when protein combine, protein plus water form, then there is formation of aggregates, and that is called as protobiont. But I'm so sorry, protobiont did not show any process of reproduction, and you know when we talk about living organism, reproduction is the basic property shown by all the living organism. Am I correct or wrong? Tell me, everyone. Reproduction is one of the basic properties shown by all the living organism. So the living organism is formed but did not show any process of reproduction. Understood? तो यहाँ ही खत्म होता है क्या सब? No. Again, there is formation of certain kind that we will see just now only. Co-acervates. So the next life formed called as co-acervates. Underline. This is also important. Okay. And they reproduced easily by the process of budding. Acha, tell me, budding is asexual mode of reproduction or sexual mode of reproduction?
Asexual.
Correct, very good. Budding is asexual mode of reproduction. Okay. So then the next life is formed, and that is called as co-acervates. Okay, so you just underline this, which will show you the what we can say, the basic property of all the living organism, that is nothing but reproduction. And reproduction is simply by budding. That is asexual mode of reproduction. Okay, and this is how came chemoheterotrophs, phototrophs, autotrophs, then aerobic came into existence, like what we can say, you must have heard about aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration. So oxygen, there were no reference of oxygen. So first what we have to consider anaerobic only. So from lower organism to the higher organism, like this only we are supposed to go while studying evolution. Understood? कैसी evolution हुआ, कैसे evolved हुआ एक organism दूसरे organism से. Understood? So I'm going to give you one example. Just consider the, have you studied about 5 classes? Class Pisces, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, then class Aves, and the class Mammals. Isn't it? Have you studied about? Yes, in this, I think this you have studied in 9th standard. Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in this, what we can see when we talk about class Pisces, all aquatic animals are there. And then comes the amphibia. You just have to maintain the sequence. You cannot say class Pisces after class Reptilia, isn't it? It's class amphibia only. So amphibians क्या करते हैं? They will perform dual function, living in water as well as on land. So this is how they are evolved. And then comes the reptilian animals, then the apes, some modifications you can see in case of class apes. And then comes the mammals, mammalia. Understood? So we can say directly पानी aquatic animals है भाई, तो उसमें जाके directly land पे आ गए क्या animals? No. Then in between comes the class amphibia, जो पानी में भी रहते हैं और लैंड पे भी रहने लगे. उसके बाद रेप्टिलिया आ गया. Understood? So that we can consider this is how the life is evolved. Are you getting? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Say yes, only you are saying yes. What about others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is how the life is evolved actually. So what we have studied about universe, how earth is formed, then first life. In this also we have studied about chemogenetic theory, which is most accepted theory called as modern theory of evolution, and this also we have studied. Now only one thing is left, that is nothing but Urey and Miller experiment. We will just see, and you just go through the diagram. I will explain you what is it. But before I start with Urey and Miller experiment, you have to remember these gases: methane, ammonia, hydrogen, and the helium, isn't it? Now, because we have to consider the present condition, and in this present conditions, if you compare the condition present at that time and the conditions nowadays condition, it is very, you can say difference, isn't it? So I'm going to tell you what is it exactly, how he conducted the experiment. Shall I erase this? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We are still talking about chemogenetic theory only. So I am keeping the heading as it is. And let's talk about chemical evolution now. We are going to focus on this. Chemogenetic में सबसे पहले हमने क्या देखा था? Chemical theory. Chemical theory में हमने क्या देखा था? Life is originating from pre-existing non-living organic molecules. Non-living organic molecules. What are those organic molecules? CH4, NH3, H2, and He. Understood? So for non-living matter we have to consider, because chemical evolution is going to tell you about that only. Ki this is how the life is originated, isn't it? From non-living organic matter. From non-living organic matter. So there is one, I'm just going to write this, you write it down in here. Inorganic compounds. From this inorganic compounds, what is formed? Life is formed. How come? First, there is formation of organic compounds. So here I'm going to write methane, then ammonia, okay. Organic compounds means what? DNA, RNA, and proteins. And this is how life originate. This will give you an idea how chemical theory. See, look here. Now in this chemical theory, inorganic compounds, methane, ammonia, CO2, gives organic compounds. And because of this, or this is how the life is originating. Got it? Now we have to consider the same conditions while explaining the Urey and Miller experiment. So this is possible. This is possible due to the conditions. This is possible due to the condition. We have studied about the condition high temperature, then light gases. Those are nothing but the inorganic compounds, light gases, and all that. Okay, so we will just see the Miller's experiment, which is one of the experimental evidence of chemical evolution. So here in this theory, what you can write down. Miller's experiment. So Miller's experiment is one of the evidence of chemical evolution. So he just mimicked the conditions on the earth. He just copied the conditions present at that time. That means inorganic compounds, methane, NH3, and CO2, So we will just see presently what is the setup actually of the experiment. Okay, now you just go through the diagram. Diagram is given. There is one flask, then you have electrodes, then a spark discharge is also there, then boiling water is also there. So you just go through the diagram. By the time I'll explain you, and if you have any doubt, let me know now only, because this is very simple. We have already discussed about chemical theory, and what is the conclusion of chemical theory? Life is originating from inorganic compounds, isn't it? So this is just the experimental proof given by Urey and Millers. Okay. So the present conditions we will see. Now early conditions. What was the early condition? The first is high temperature, then CH4, NH3, H2 and helium, hydrogen gas were present. And that time thunder and lightning, which will stimulate the formation, isn't it? But nowadays, in this experiment, now because we have to consider the present thing, isn't it? So in this we are going to conduct, let's discuss in this way. We are only conducting the experiment. Okay. So in lab, what we have taken, we have to consider present only. See, present lab conditions, boiling water. Boiling water for what? Because that time high temperature was there, isn't it? So instead of this, what we have taken? Boiling temperature. Why? To increase the temperature, high temperature, because we want high temperature, isn't it? So in this way only you can study this Urey and Miller's experiment, isn't it? Now, CH4, NH3, H2 also we have to take, isn't it? And instead of thunder and lightning, because this is just the what we can say, this is going to stimulate the formation of amino acid. So for this, what we can take electrodes. We can take electrodes in the flask where we have taken the mixture of gases, in the flask. Got it? So high temperature के अलावा हमने क्या किया है? Boiling water लिया है, because we are conducting this experiment in the lab. So high temperature, that means boiling water. Then is what? Gases. We have taken inorganic compounds in the flask with the what? 2 electrodes. Why? Because in the early condition, what was there? Thunder and the lightning, which will stimulate the formation. But now at present, what we have in the lab, we have electrodes, which will show you spark discharge. Understand? So this is very simple. And the simple observation by this is nothing but there is the formation of amino acids. There is the formation of amino acids. Got it? Proteins, building blocks of our body. So RNA, proteins, you know that they are self-replicating organelles. Self-replicating means what? They can make their exact copies. वो multiply हो सकते हैं, खुद के copies बना सकते हैं, and that's the reason finally the scientists were able to form the first life. Got it? Very simple experiment explained by Urey and Miller. So conclusion is very simple. There is formation of amino acids, and you know that when we consider RNA, proteins, they are self-replicating organelles. So what? They can make their exact copies, and this is how the life is originated. Understood? Or the first cell is formed with the help of this experimental proof. You will come to know how exactly chemical theory is it, which is nothing but a modern theory of evolution. It is mostly accepted theory. Now, clear till here? Anybody has any doubt? Let me know. Yes?
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. I think we have done with the lecture. What's the time? It's 8:41, right? Anybody has any doubt? So you just tell me, you just go through the diagram and let me know. Tomorrow we will discuss the second half of the chapter. That means we have to discuss about evidences. Okay, so we will just see the evidences tomorrow, not now. Okay. '58. Yes, only 1 minute is left. Tell me. Understood?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Sejal and Dhruv, both of you are there. What about others? Okay, so what we have studied today, one by one, you just tell me. Universe, Earth, Big Bang theory we have studied about, theory of special creation, abiogenesis theory, then biogenesis theory, then what else?
Condition on Earth.
Conditions, yes, correct, very good. What else?
Modern theory of evolution.
Huh?
Modern theory of evolution.
Correct, chemical evolution, modern theory, and one experimental proof also we have studied, Urey and Muller experiment. Okay, that also we have studied. Okay, what is the conclusion of chemical theory? Conclusion of chemical theory.
Inorganic compounds.
Yes.
Organic compounds are from, and from organic compounds life is originated.
Correct. The first cell is originating from that organic compounds. So this much we have studied today. Tomorrow I'll just discuss with you. Okay, so tomorrow what we are going to study, evidences of evolution. So in this, morphological and anatomical evidences, embryological, paleontological evidences, and biogeographical plus physiological evidences we are going to study. So we are going to study this in detail tomorrow. So till here understood, so that I can stop here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Done for the day. You can just leave the meeting now.